Hello. Welcome to another video from 10x Investor Education. Today, I would like to talk about Ocugen. Okay, the symbol is OCGN, stock updates, and I would like to show how institutional investors are buying in millions of stock almost last 2 weeks. Okay, so before getting there, my last two videos have been on Bitcoin mining stocks. So Bitcoin has been doing really good, crypto in general, and the last 2 weeks, and especially Mara, Hut, Bitfarms, all the stocks. Mara was up almost 11% last Friday. It's close to $40 stock. Hut is up 12%. So all the stocks have been really doing good. And in general, last week has been really good for stocks and as well as crypto. Okay. So this video is about Ocugen. So I did Ocugen video, that was 14th video, and this is 15th video. And a few weeks back, since then, Ocugen announced their quarter results, and there was some positive and some negative news I would like to cover today. And I would like to also talk about why September, which is next month coming soon, is actually could be a critical month for Ocugen for multiple reasons. Okay, so one thing is WHO approval was expected in August. That did not happen, and WHO said they are going to look at in the middle of the September for approval for Bharat Biotech's Covaxin, which is related to Ocugen. So this is a very critical decision because millions of people in India and also across the world used Covaxin. Unless World Health Organization approves that vaccine, technically you cannot travel. There will be travel restrictions. You can only travel with WHO approved vaccines, which are only 4 so far. Okay, Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, and Johnson Johnson. Okay, so the potential next WHO approvals could be Novavax and also Covaxin. Okay, so if they get approval in September, that will provide a lot of momentum for Ocugen stock. Okay, and also, as you guys know, so US did not give Ocugen emergency authorization. They said go and apply for full FDA approval. So that means it is a long process. So I don't know if next couple of years, like 2022 or 23, 2022 is very highly unlikely because it's a long-term process. Okay, so first they might ask you to do clinical trials in US, which is expensive, long process, and also they can actually verify the manufacturing process. So Ocugen actually tied up with the manufacturer. So that is also, they have to pay probably millions of dollars before even starting the manufacturing. And also, so we have to see in US when they can make money. Okay, but Canada approval is what anticipated potentially in September. Okay, so Canadian government already bought almost like millions of vaccines, and 65 to 70% of Canadians are vaccinated with these 4 vaccines. Unlike US, not that much percentage population vaccinated. So Canada, we have to see if they give approval, how many millions actually they will buy Ocugen, and then that could be the potential revenue for Ocugen. Okay, so since last my video, stock is down close to 20%. So it was around $8.50. Now stock is around $7.50. Okay, it is very day trader friendly stock, which means the stock, as you can see, last 3 months chart is as highly, actually it has very high resistance at the bottom around $650. That it has very strong resistance, and at the top it has strong resistance around $850. Okay, so if because this is a long term and it's not going to bankrupt or anytime soon, because they have $15 million cash based on the last quarter results end of June. They are burning certainly cash, but that's a lot of cash. Okay, so if you look at it, and also so $6.50 and $8.50. So if you know how to make money, you could buy when it reaches $6.50, $7, you can sell spreads, buy spreads, and then when it goes to $8.50, you can sell covered calls or whatever at $8, $9. So that way, so that you can never get assigned the spreads or the calls, your stocks is never sold off, and you can do monthly calls based on the momentum. Okay, so that is how I have been doing a trading stock, and this is no way advice to buy the stock. I have bought around $1 and I still own like close to $2,000 stock. So I trade with it and I make money every month, couple of weeks, using like spreads or covered calls. Okay, so in the first week of August, they announced quarter results on August 6th. Okay, so as I said, they have $115 million worth of cash, and actually they paid $15 million cash directly to Bharat Biotech, okay, for right and license to Covaxin development, manufacturing and collaboration in Canada. Okay, so remember, they got only approval for US initially, but they said once they saw US government is not giving permission for emergency authorization and a long-term process is for permanent, full approval, they said, okay, so that's not going to happen. So then they actually tried to do in Canada. In Canada, Bharat Biotech not going to give free, so they had to spend $15 million to get approval for a Canada license and manufacturing rights. Okay, that's what they spend money. So given all that, so I really highly doubt they are going to get approval in USA anytime soon, which is not in 2022. So we have to see what happens in 2023. So another thing is, I doubt any near time Ocugen going to make money in US. Okay, but if Canada next month they get approval, and also World Health Organization WHO, if they get approval, there will be huge momentum for the stock. Okay, so there are certainly negative factors, certainly positive factors. One negative factor, actually main negative factor that is against Bharat Biotech is actually the deal with Brazil. So Brazil actually signed a deal to buy $20 million vaccines from Covaxin, from Bharat Biotech Covaxin, and then it ended up as a scandal. The Brazil president, as if he was bribing the management of Bharat Biotech to get that deal, so that got cancelled, and they are investigating into the scandal. So this is not a good news at all for in general Bharat Biotech, but otherwise I did not see a lot of negative news. Okay, and the most positive news I see is actually institutional investors and ETFs have been buying heavily. I will show in a minute on Fintel, and also even XBI, which owns almost 8 million stocks of Ocugen. They increased their position by 46% in the last quarter filing. Okay, so I wish I could tell you everything good, but that is the reality. Okay, there are some negatives, some positives, but I believe September will be a critical month for Ocugen, and you have to keep on taps for these next 2 weeks to get those results. About the institutional ownership of our Ocugen stock. So this is Fintel. As you can see, Ocugen has market cap of around $1.3 billion. 36% still owned by institutional investors. So this went up a lot in last quarter, especially in last 2 weeks, as I'll show you. So institutions own almost $580 million worth of Ocugen stock, which is good news when institutional ownership goes up. The reason being is Russell 2000, they became part of Russell 2000 and Russell 3000 indexes end of June. So that made lot of funds had to buy actually millions of stock. So as you can see here, the largest holder is still Vanguard Group, around 9 million Ocugen stock, 5.6%. But if you look at it, the green arrows indicate new positions. For last 2 weeks, as you can see here, a lot of hedge funds and ETFs have been buying millions of stock of Ocugen. So as you can see, a lot of them is all new purchases. So the major purchases are 2 ETFs from iShares, so 4.2 million and 1.5 million. And also, as you can see, a lot of green you can see here. And if you see XBI, actually XBI owns, which is also owns 7 million Ocugen stock. So if you look at their institutional ownership, XBI ownership went up by 46% in their quarter filing. Okay, so this is about institutional ownership, which is really positive sign. So even though there's a bunch of negative aspects, this is actually increasing almost every week. Okay, so then the two things I was talking about were September. Okay, so World Health Organization WHO decision on Covaxin approval in September. Okay, so this article you will talk about the CEO of Ocugen, why it's critical that they need to get approval in Canada, and why it's important that actually Covaxin is good for Delta variant, as it has close to 65% is working. Okay, the other one is Covaxin under active review for Health Canada. This is also like a recent news. So this is about Musunuri is talking about the importance of getting approval from Canada and how they accepted the application. So this is talking about Delta variant data showed Covaxin achieving 65% positive, 65% as if the efficacy rate, and also COVID cases demonstrated it's a low viral load in vaccinated individuals. So the results are, I think in my view, is pretty good for Delta. And also this is inactive virus, which means it will actually work for potentially a lot of other variants of COVID-19. Okay, so this is another news I was talking about. Health Canada considering approving Covaxin vaccine. So this is, I'm not surprised if they approve it in September, but the only concern is actually how many millions they are going to buy. Okay, so if you look at here, the Canadian federal government has already bought tens of millions of doses of 4 vaccines which are already approved by World Health Organization: Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson. It's also agreed to buy tens of millions of doses of. So this also agreement to buy both Novavax and Medicago. So given they have millions of vaccines, 70% population already vaccinated, and commitment to buy, so I really doubt how many millions they'll buy, but we have to see when they give approval. Okay, so the bad news I was talking about, really the Brazil scandal. Brazil suspends Covaxin contracted as scandal becomes too hot for president. So these are the things I would like to cover today on Ocugen. This is both positive and negative news. I'm still holding my stock. No plan to sell completely coming out of Ocugen stock. As I said, I know the resistance between $6.50 and $8.50. So I'm keep playing my options around this and trying to make money. Hopefully you liked it. This is really useful information. As I said, keep tabs on Ocugen stock for September, as there are 2 critical events that are coming up for Ocugen. And see you on my next video. Thank you.